Great morning, holy brothers and sisters. On this turbocharged Tuesday of May 1st, it is the 16th of Iyar. For those counting the 31st day of the Omer, and in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, today's lesson will be called Sunlit, Silence, from teaching number 81. Sometimes the tzaddik speaks with people about mundane matters, and this is of great benefit to them. The reason is that there are people who are extremely far from the Torah and far from knowledge of God, to the point that it is impossible to bring them close with the words of Torah. Rather, they must be brought closer specifically through mundane conversation in which the tzaddik clothes and conceals Torah teachings that he wishes to convey to them. Furthermore, at times, this is also beneficial to the tzaddik himself, in that he needs to clear his mind and to revive himself through this type of mundane conversation. Then, as a matter of course, great benefit also devolves upon the person who speaks about mundane matters with the tzaddik, and it revives the tzaddik too. And this is how many stories were told with deep, hidden, but powerful spiritual messages, and practically we can use this message of storytelling with our children or our friends to teach them ideas and lessons and how they should act without outright coming out and saying it with any type of criticism that they might reject. The concept of disgrace, this is from teaching number 82, is also associated with orla, which is the foreskin of the male. As it is written, we cannot give our sister to a man who has an orla because it is a disgrace for us, from Genesis 34:14. Now, the orla consists of three skins, paralleling the three forces of spiritual impurity known as the raging storm wind, the great cloud, and the flashing fire, from Ezekiel 1. When a person remains silent when another disgraces him, it repels these three impure forces, since he does not wish to quarrel and to disgrace with the other person. Beneath the orla, there is a fourth and a very fine layer of skin which parallels the impure force of noga. This is the interface between holiness and the three entirely evil forces of impurity. Noga parallels chashmal, which means a glow, that is chash and mal, since to remain silent, lachashot, in the face of one's own disgrace, is also the concept of circumcision, which is milah, whereby the three impure klipot are removed. So when we withhold and we remain silent, we are actually able to eliminate evil forces. It is also known that the noga is sometimes included in holiness and at other times in the opposite, or the side of impurity. Correspondingly, the silence which a person demonstrates in the face of his own disgrace has these two aspects. Sometimes a person may refrain from answering back someone who disgraces him in order to cause him antagonistic behavior, even great pain. Thus, through his silence, with his passive aggressiveness, he actually disgraces the antagonist all the more. The silence which corresponds to noga is then included in the side of impurity, the side of disgrace. But those who hear their own disgrace and do not answer, acting out of love, that is, they remain silent out of love, since they do not wish to embarrass or disgrace the other person, then their silence, which is noga, is included in the side of holiness. Many of our actions can be either uplifting or degrading, depending on how we perform them and with what kind of intentions we actually have. It's taught in the writings of the Arizal of blessed memory that on Erev Shabbos, the impure force of noga is included in the side of holiness. And then the three entirely impure forces also wish to ascend and to cling on to this holiness. But at that time, a flame of God descends and burns these impure forces so that they do not get a grasp on the holiness. Therefore, our sage of blessed memory taught about those who remain silent out of love, that they are described by the verse, those who love him, as the sun is coming out of its strength in Judges 5:31, Shabbos 88b. In other words, they are like that flame of God by which the noga is included in the side of holiness, as in the concept of chas and mal, since this kind of silence represents a nullification of the orla and of disgrace. So we should remember to always act with positive intentions and focus on those fiery flames to brighten our days and to illuminate all the lives around us as well. As always, thank you so much for learning together. And if you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow. And please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.